Hi everyone, Michael from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au. So in breaking news that will shock absolutely no one, I've stirred the pot yet again. Last night we released a video on the timetable for release for the Perth Mint Luna series, their Kookaburra, their Koala and their Kangaroo series because of delays and that. And in that video I made a small comment about unallocated and that people were starting to buy unallocated so they could lock in a price to convert into whichever coins they were after once they were released. And this is quite common practice. We've talked about this for many years. Now, a little bit of, I think people have grabbed a little bit of the wrong end of the stick, or I've explained it poorly, where I said that I don't think I used the word reserve, but we keep some aside for people who want to convert a few ounces over. From their unallocated to the physical product, to the new release. Now, we absolutely do that. There is a certain amount, usually about 100 of our allocation that we keep aside because we know some people do stack a little bit of that unallocated so they can convert it over. But it's not to the exclusivity. It's not so that everyone else is going to miss out. It's not that they jump to the head of the queue, because we exclusively keep a chunk of our allocation to hand over to the shop for people who they don't want to use the internet or the phones, or they want to pay in cash over the counter, or any of those sorts of things. We try and make sure that we've got some allocated to the shop so that people coming in know that they're going to get some, or at least have a fair crack at getting some. We also keep some aside for the phones, for people who don't want to use the internet, but they don't live locally to Melbourne and they can't get in. So they can pick up the phone, they can talk to Andrew or Matt or Con or Sylvia, and they can place their order that way. So we do keep some exclusively for the phones. We also keep some exclusively for our online customers, for people that don't live in Melbourne or around the area. They don't get into town for whatever reason. They are completely computer literate, and they are quite happy to place an order over the web. So we want to make sure we've got some for them. We also exclusively keep some of our allocation, and we keep it exclusively for people who like to deal in emails only. So we try and exclusively look after as many people out there as we possibly can. Because when we don't look after everyone, we get a lot of heat, as we have in this case, because people are thinking we're only going to look after the unallocated customers and we're trying to drive people there, which we're not. But if we don't try and make it as open as we possibly can, we have people that say, well, you make it too open, everyone can grab it, and there's none left for me and I came into the shop. Or we get so we say, okay, well, we're going to have some for the shop. And people say, oh, well, that's not fair because I wanted some online. So we make sure we've got some online. People say, well, it's not fair, you let people buy as many as they like, so we restrict the numbers. Then we get into trouble for restricting the numbers down because I wanted to buy 10 and you only let me buy 5. So it's on and on and on. What we've done is we've come up with a system that we believe gives everyone a fair crack. And if all those allocations are done and we've still got more left over, we make them a free-for-all for everyone else. But we desperately try, number one, to look after the Bullion Now family, and that's you who's watching this, as much as we possibly can. We know that some of these exclusive releases or these limited releases, everyone wants to get a bar of. And look, quite often when we do this, it's actually to the detriment of the company because, as I've explained many times, when people only buy a very small number, we don't make as much profit out of it. In fact, quite often we make a loss. And we're really happy to do that because we are collectors as much as stackers, and we want to encourage that community as much as we can. So yes, the short answer is yes, we exclusively keep some for unallocated. But we also exclusively keep some for every other form that we possibly can, and we try and spread the love around as much as we can. And I think the vast majority of the Bullion Now family understand that, and they're very understanding of it, and they appreciate it, which is why we do it. And I think there are a few out there that I'm trying not to say are looking for an excuse to get offended, but effectively that's what's happening. They're trying to say, we're pushing you unallocated. I don't care if you go to unallocated or not. It makes no difference to me at all. But I want to make sure that everyone that wants access to it at least gets access to one or two of those particular coins. That's it for now. I think I've banged on long enough about that. You got any more comments, make them down below. Certainly, if you've got any concerns, give us a ring, 1300 84 84 10. send us an email, sales@bullionnow.com.au, or come into the store, level 6, 227 Collins Street. I've never shied away from answering any of these questions, and I'm certainly not about to now. That's it for now. We'll talk again soon. See ya.